Hello everyone, Impiator here, and welcome back to my Let's Play for Factorio. This is part 8. So in the last episode, we kind of took the first step to solving our copper crisis. And we have a build setting up over here. We're just waiting for enough of the roboports to basically make their way over there. And so we're going to go investigate what is taking so long for our roboports to get done. And this is going to be probably one of those episodes where we don't really accomplish a whole lot, I feel like, because there's a lot of preparatory work to do because we need to expand our base. We're going to be working into basically getting yellow science, but the problem is yellow science requires massive amounts of blue circuits, and that's going to require resources we just don't have. So we're actually going to be expanding our base greatly over on kind of the east side here, I think, and we're going to basically be setting up almost an entirely new base just for the creation of blue circuits. Alright, so let's see here. We have a few more in our inventory we can use. What's holding this up? Iron gear wheels. We are not producing iron gear wheels very quickly, are we? Oh, well, that's why. How about this? Let's... yeah, let's do that. We'll go ahead and switch this over to iron gear wheels. Okay, that will be a temporary solution. What are we missing? Oh, I never dumped my gun turrets. Well, shoot. Let's fix that real quick. We also have a lot of wood. Put the gun turrets and the radars over there. We'll do those. Okay. So another thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to expand our power. Let's go ahead and upgrade these, and then we're going to duplicate this. Let's see, power. We don't need that. Okay. All right. You're also going to need one of those burner inserters. Otherwise, that should be able to build the rest. Let's see here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to expand this down here. I'm going to rearrange. Oh, we got some of these ready to go away. So I think we're going to expand this. Oh, we never finished the train. Let's do that real quick. I'm going to hold off on my research, by the way, until we got our copper. Because otherwise we're never going to get that copper over here. So let's get this started. Where is the other location? Tequila Chef. Man, where do some of these names come from? I swear. We're going to do... Let's see. At Juliana, we're going to wait until empty cargo. And then over here, wait until full cargo. And set this automatic. And hopefully that will start moving once the problem is fixed. And then this was an awful attempt. I'm like, I tried to do basically the reverse of what I usually do whenever I'm putting stuff into the buffer for a train. And I was like, would that work for getting it off there too? And I'm like, nope, nope, no, it won't. So what we're going to do is we're going to clone this config over here. And I would like to have a balancer. And then I think we're going to... Nope, nope, don't want that on there. I think we're going to do it that way. Why is that not moving? Weird. Okay. Weird. Those are not emptying at the exact same level. I guess maybe because of the fact that we're having to stop for this. So I think I'm going to put a balancer here too. No, this needs to be one more up. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put a balancer right there. We will wait for everything to be sucked down first before we actually clean this up. But that will be fine. Alright, how are we doing over here? No ammo. Well, that's stupid. This is supposed to have ammo on it. Alright, let me investigate that here in a minute. We'll get those out of here. And we probably need to get our network pulled up here because we have enemies over here. But I want to have everything fixed the right way. Why are we out of those? We should have plenty for those. Oh, I never made this into a red chest. That would explain. In fact, we don't need that anymore. Because we've upgraded everything else in our base. How are we doing down here? We're just beginning to make it down here. Our train has made it down there. Sweet. Okay, let's investigate what's going on with our blueprint. Let's take this to a place that doesn't have... So we're supposed to be able to go into here, click on this in the map menu, and then fill this up. Unfortunately, I don't really think we need 100 in it, otherwise I would do left click, but we'll do 50. Okay, then we're going to delete our blueprint, which apparently didn't save it. I don't know why I didn't save it. And we're going to make a new blueprint. Turrets with ammo. Okay. Let's put that on toolbar. Okay, they have the icon, so they should get refilled. Alright, we are refilling that. Anyway, that will make sure that the ammo is being filled as they are created. Unfortunately, they have to be delivered to one ammo at a time, which is so incredibly irritating right now. Eventually, our bots will be able to carry more than one thing at a time, but it's going to be a little while. Okay, so I think we can rearrange this a little bit now. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this. Get rid of that. Make that a straight line. That a straight line. Get rid of that. Okay, so now we have a better looking layout. Hopefully that consumes at the appropriate rate now. And let's go dump. Our inventory. Eventually we're going to have logistics spots that are bringing us inventory items so we can have a consistent amount of inventory. And that looks good to me. How are we doing down here? Hey! There's a few missing. Okay, that should get us cooking. So we are going to want to have some defenses down here and some radars to expand out our view. And let's get some defenses out here too, because I'm sure there are enemies out here. Or if they're not yet, there will be soon. That should be enough. And they've got the little symbol on them, so I think that's going to get them auto-filled with resources. Okay, so now that that's going, let's start thinking about expanding our base. So I'm going to convert this into a grid-based config. We're going to do 50 by 50. We're going to do relative. I think that's going to do it. And what this will let us do is drop something and then drag. And I would like to have this area full. And I want this area full. Okay. That should get us good there. And then I want to expand up here and get us another source of iron ore. In fact, I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have another one of these coming in right here. Maybe have that going out to over here. So let's go ahead and drop some of these. Look at that wonderful shade of green. We're poisoning everything. Oh, we're being attacked. What are we being attacked by? Okay, that'll be fixed soon once we get all of our stuff out there. Okie dokie, so how are we doing? Oh yeah, we are getting a good solid amount of ore now. Copper! Sweet. Okie dokie, so I think our next short-term thing is going to go ahead and be to get some research underway. We're going to do all of the red and green research, since that'll all run pretty quick, I bet. We're going to need landfill for that, because I crossed some water barriers. So I actually had planned for that. So I left a kind of an opening over here for that. And this will be landfill. This stuff requires lots and lots of stone. It also produces a lot of awful stuff too. Pollution. Okay, so we are going to need more engine units. Why are we so low on engine units? We have full engines. We are not doing very well on green circuits. Just grab some of those. Make sure we are flush with green circuits. And we need blue circuits I've been hoarding. There we go. I think it's also probably time for us to go ahead and upgrade our shotgun, maybe get into some better weaponry. So let's swap that out. So the cool thing about the power armor is that it's got a grid for equipment. And so we're going to be able to put things like get exoskeletons to improve our performance, our movement. We'll also have to be able to have a personal roboport. We have some of these guys help us. We'll also need a bunch of batteries, so I think we'll go ahead and make a bunch of batteries. And we also need portable solar panels. Let's take care of the battery problem first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do 8 of those. We don't have a huge equipment grid to deal with. We'll get the Power Armor Mark II later, which greatly enhances it. The tank can also use a lot of this stuff as well. So we're going to start off with 8 of these. 8 of these. So we're going to need red circuits for that. And we're going to need copper. Need more copper. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to need some more engine units. So we need 20. Let's kick off some more research too while we're at it. We're gonna want that eventually, but right now we don't have the space for it on our equipment block. Once we start building our tank, though, which will probably be in this episode, maybe early next episode, we at that point should have enough. Do we have enough yet for this? Nope, still need 2 more. 2. That's 1 exoskeleton. I'd like to have 2. This will make us faster on our feet. That's going to take a while, though. Jeez. Let's dump these into a box. Let's put in a filter. We're going to do... those. Okie dokie. So, I think we're going to go ahead and start beginning our expansion over here. We don't yet have any of the resource requirements yet, and we're still expanding our base, still filling up our ammo over here. How about up here? Yeah, we still haven't made any progress there that way yet. We're still working our way up here too. Haven't quite built out yet. So yeah, we'll build some stuff local. One thing we can go ahead and do now is start working towards rocket fuel. That's a lot more efficient of a fuel for vehicles as well as for trains. So what we'll start with is I'm expanding that, and then we're going to go ahead and build a few chemical plants. And I think we'll go ahead and run that up to the train stations. And we'll replace the coal with it, because that'll be a lot more efficient. It'll also make the trains faster, too. Yeah, so how do I want to do this? We need to get some out there. I'm going to expand this direction too. In fact, I really am going to just expand in all directions. Kind of deal with enemies as we encounter them. So let's go ahead and do that over here too. Got some expansion out there that way too. And then we're going to go ahead and expand this direction. That's probably as far as, well, that's probably as far as we need to go. We'll also probably put some of those radar out that way too. Okay, so still building the requirements for our suit. We're gonna need red circuits, iron gear wheels. Let's go get some more iron gear wheels. Batteries, more iron gear wheels. Is that enough? Yeah, need more batteries. Okay, I think we got enough of those. We can let the rest start just flooding out. I think we're also done with that config for now. Again, my main goal for getting the blue circuits was for getting the items that we're going to use for our power armor. Okay, so we have chemical plants. They're going to make that. All right. Then we're going to route this up here. Starting to make progress out there, so we should be able to replace that soon, I hope. Otherwise, I may have to go out there myself. Okay. Alright, we got a source coming in now. So that is going to be a more efficient fuel. Eventually we'll replace that with rocket fuel. In fact, it's also a better fuel for our car as well. We got flamethrower. We'll go ahead and make that. We can also make steel plate, or take steel plate and crude oil in order to make flamethrower ammo. Where do we make flamethrower ammo, actually? Oh, chemical plant. Never mind. I mean, I guess I could do it over here. Now that I think about it. And we'll go ahead and have that. Dumping in there. That's going to be flamethrower. We'll dump that into a chest. Red chest. Yeah. Alright, we got rocketry, inserter capacity bonus. That's going to be nice to have. Oh, I didn't realize I whacked out the power for that. We'll fix that. So how are we doing over here? I see we're burning through green circuits a little fast. They are all working. All right. Alright, let's go ahead and start stuffing our stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. And we'll do that, that. We're going to temporarily turn off the roboport and the exoskeleton, let those recharge. Unfortunately, I might have to go for more solar panels. These things really suck. Really, really bad. Unfortunately, it's going to be a long while before we get the fission reactor. Gonna need yellow signs for that, which is why that is our next major goal, at least. Okay, so let's get this car out of the way. And let's get our next major phase of our base underway. So that's going to go in our pile of blueprints. Don't need that. Don't need these. Save. You know what? There is some more coal over here. Tell you what, I think we're going to duplicate this config. More or less over here. Let's get rid of all these trees and rocks. This will provide us a new source. Let's see, we don't need those. Don't need that. We're just going to remove that and move that elsewhere, I think. We'll leave that. We are going to move that. Okay. Worry about the rest of that once it starts getting built. And let's go ahead and begin. There it is. So let's go ahead and begin kind of our plans for this. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to decide if we're going to have enough. One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's go with 6. And then that's probably, that might even be too many, but we will find out later. Run that there. Run that there. And we're ready to make a bunch of room because we're going to be building a lot of stuff down here. How are we doing expanding? Oh, we have copper ore down there. More coal. More stone, more stone. We've still made it not made it over there yet. Let's clone this config though. We're going to take that up over here too. So, as we start getting stuff placed, our base will slowly start coming together. Alright, how is our research coming along? Cool. A few left to go. I'm thinking we'll go ahead and get into Military 3. This is going to get us access to the upgraded shotgun. We'll go for rocket fuel. Faster inserter capacity. Uranium mining. Tank! There it is, folks. There it is. That's going to be one of our goals. Doesn't really require that much to it, though. It's got a lot of equipment slots, so we'll also be able to upgrade that too. We're also going to be able to upgrade our damage output, which is going to be freaking awesome. We'll be able to basically just run down bases. Alright, making progress with that. Did I put a cap on this? No, I didn't. I'm glad I checked. I really don't want that to be consuming all of my... or at least what remains, anyway, of my stone. How are we doing up here? We're going to need eventually another source. Alright, we're gonna need a couple more of these. Let's see here. That. Do that. Do that. So that's going to allow us to expand our power some more, because we are going to be seriously eating into power soon. Okay, so what we're going to do now is... I think I'm happy with that. That is putting it on the other side. All right. How are we doing? Still waiting for stuff to build. So fire is a great way to get rid of individual biters very quickly. They do not like fire. Unfortunately, I don't think we can put a flamethrower on the car, but we can put that on the what do you call it? The tank. Alright, so we're out of those. Those are all being built, though. And we can go ahead and get rid of the preference here. Oh, we're out of logistics space. Let's fix that. We'll add to that. We do not need the light armor anymore. We'll dump that in there. And I would like to start carrying around about 50 construction robots. Let's grab some from there. How many do we have over here? A couple. Probably a bunch over here. No? I guess they're all being used for stuff and things. Alright, now we're using well below our power threshold. That's good. So that should give us plenty of overhead for this setup. Cool, they're able to repair now. Making progress slowly. It's funny that the creatures don't attack my roboports. Roboport Putmir Vladin. Well, that's funny. Alright. Well, you can kind of see where I'm going with this build, I think. So, in the next episode, we're just going to probably have another fairly slow episode where we are waiting for all of our stuff to build, for our resources to start pulling over here. I think I'm going to go explore the bottom section here, because I don't know how much copper ore this is, but if it's a sizable amount, that will be super helpful, because I don't see any other copper ore on the map right now. More iron. More iron. Is that minerals? No. Stone, more iron. We are going to be copper starved for sure if we're not careful. So yeah, we're going to be working on that, I think, in the next episode. But until then, thank you for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.